This is the story of Joshua Keadle. Peru, Nebraska, December 3rd, 2010. 19-year-old Tyler Thomas is at a party with her friends. Her and her friends attended Peru State College, but they was at a party off campus. At the party, Tyler got a little too intoxicated, so intoxicated that she started arguing with one of the girls that she came with. The argument got her kicked out of the party. One of the girls asked her, does she need a ride back to campus? And she said no and took off on foot. Shortly before 1:30 a.m., Tyler texted her friends saying that she was lost. This prompted them to leave the party because not only was she intoxicated, it was very cold that night and she did not have a coat. When the group still didn't see Tyler on their route back to the dorm, they just thought that she made it back to her room. When they got to her room and Tyler was still nowhere to be found, but all of her belongings was still on her bed, her purse, her keys, her cards, birth certificate, everything. That's when they decided to report her missing. As it turned daylight on December 3rd, that's when the intensive search started. They had divers for the Missouri River, hundreds of volunteers, helicopters, they even had dogs. It was all hands on deck. While interviewing some of Tyler's friends and dorm mates, one name stuck out to the detectives. 23-year-old Joshua Keadle, who was also a student at Peru State College and also lived in the same co-ed dorm as Tyler, just a few doors down. Joshua and Tyler went on a date. Now, it's unclear what happened on that date, but after that date, the two seemed to hate each other. Tyler's friend said that the two used to get into heated arguments in front of everybody. Multiple students said that they've heard Joshua call Tyler derogatory comments. Wonder what word that was. On December 4th, Joshua got pulled in for questioning. He did admit to seeing Tyler walking back to the dorms while he was on his way back to the dorms with his friends to hang out. But he said he never said anything to her. When Joshua and his friends got back to the dorm, he said he separated from them because his stomach started hurting out of nowhere. I bet it did. He said he stayed in his room the entire night because he was back and forth to the bathroom. But what Joshua didn't know is that the detective questioned one of his friends that was riding with him. And that friend said hanging out was never the plan. We were all just going back to our dorm. On December 6th, Joshua got called back in for questioning with evidence of him on the surveillance camera outside of his dorm when he told the investigators that he never left his room. Joshua said, "Oh, yeah, I forgot. I went to go get change at some point that night." The investigator said, "Well, why is your cell phone pinging at the Missouri River?" He said, I did go smoke some marijuana as well. But I was by myself, wasn't nobody with me." They said, "Oh, yeah? Well, why is Tyler's phone pinging at the Missouri River as well?" He said he didn't have no clue. On December 7th, the cops had had enough. They had called Joshua in for questioning yet again, telling him that his timeline did not add up. And Joshua came with one last outlandish story. Joshua said, "You won't believe me if I tell you this." The investigator said, "Try me." He said on his way to the river, Tyler popped out of some bushes. He let her in his car and the both went to the river to smoke. While they was at the river smoking, she had asked him to drive her to Omaha. And when he said no, she said, "I will do something for it." And that something was fellatio. He said Tyler gave him fellatio, and when he was done, he finished in a napkin and threw it to the side and went to go stand at the end of the river. And when he was standing there, he said, "You know what? I don't want to take you to Omaha." And that's when Tyler got enraged and started hitting and kicking him and threw her cell phone at him, which landed in the water. He said he grabbed her and told her to stop, and then he left. He said when he was leaving, Tyler was still screaming. The investigator said, "Put your hands behind your goddamn back." Joshua was arrested in connection of Tyler's disappearance, but he wasn't prosecuted at that time. But when he was in jail, another girl from the college came forth to detectives and said Joshua sexually assaulted her 3 times on Halloween, which was about a month before Tyler went missing. She said the assault happened in the same area of the Missouri River. And then another young lady come forward and said that Joshua sexually assaulted her in 2008 when she was just 15 years old. He was charged with false imprisonment and felony rape in both cases. In March of 2012, he pled guilty to the 2008 case and sentenced to 15 to 20 years, but he was eligible for parole after serving 8 years. Tyler's case went cold. Her mother filed a wrongful death suit against the school and Joshua. The school was actually going to kick him out. He had damaged the school property, he was failing his classes, and two other females had sexual harassment charges against him. But despite all of that, the school administration still let Joshua finish the semester and then they was going to let him go. Her mother lawsuit claimed that if Joshua was just expelled when he was supposed to be expelled, none of this would ever happen. But in 2015, a judge dismissed her claim, saying that there's no way that the college could foresee that he was a risk for violent behavior. What? But finally, in 2017, just 2 years shy of his parole date from his 2008 case, Joshua is charged with first-degree murder of Tyler. We still don't have a body or forensic evidence, but we going to trial. In early 2020, a jailhouse snitch testified against Joshua and said that Joshua said that he killed Tyler, but he will never get convicted of it because they will never find her body. His classmates from Peru State College testified and said that Joshua begged them to tell the detective that he was with them all day. Along with all the other outlandish lies he told, Joshua was convicted of second-degree murder. He got a lesser sentence because we still don't have a body. His sentencing was delayed due to the pandemic at the time. But in July of 2020, he was sentenced to 71 years in prison. He is fighting hard with these appeals. I think he literally just did an appeal, but with the lack of evidence, it kind of worries me a little bit. But Tyler Thompson is still missing, still no trace of her. But let's hope and pray Joshua keep his ass in there.